In today's episode, we're going to discuss metal poisoning and how it's affecting your health. How can we have metal poisoning? There are several ways, but more often eating fish, very often, tooth fillings, and we also inhale heavy metals that are in the air. Today, air is not as clean as it used to be. So we can absorb these metals in such ways. Also, if you're working with heavy metals, if your job involves working around metals, that can also be absorbed through your skin and as well as inhaling. What are some of the symptoms of metal poisoning? And there are many, but the ones I would focus on are hair loss. You have chronic fatigue, lower testosterone. You experience depression. For example, it can affect your skin when you start developing rashes and skin issues. Another one is brain fog. Cognitive issues are very often noticed with metal poisoning. So you have to get rid of them, okay? Because the longer you wait, the older you are, more of them you will absorb. Especially if you're over 50 years old, you definitely have to go and get a test done. One of the ways is urine or hair. Hair test is not as accurate. Urine is much more accurate. What you can do, you can actually reach out to a functional medicine doctor and they will direct you where to go and get your test. Metal poisoning is the most ignored cause of chronic diseases that are ignored by doctors. Instead of having metal poisoning tests done, doctors prescribe different medicines and they basically look for a solution by using medicines instead of looking deeper. This is why it's so important to do a test. Safe levels used to be 40, 25. If you have lead levels over 2, you have an 89% higher risk of a stroke, 150% higher risk of a heart attack. And this is actually more harmful than smoking or cholesterol. So it's very important that you make sure that you don't have any lead poisoning. Like I said, especially if you consume a lot of fish, if you eat a lot of sushi, which by the way can also cause parasites, then you have to go and get a test done. If you have dental fillings, mercury fillings, that's another one. You can research and see how much gas is being released from them. I, for example, had some and I had all of them removed. I went to a special dentist and, they have a special procedure of removing them, So people talk about foods. What can I do to remove these metals out of my body? A lot of people say cilantro. You have to be very careful because, for example, cilantro can move those metals past your blood-brain barrier, okay? And it can go to your brain. So you have to be very careful what you're using. Another things are green powders, for example, like spirulina. The thing with spirulina is that spirulina grown in commercial environment that's polluted will absorb heavy metals from water and from the air. So it's crucial that you know where your spirulina comes from. As I mentioned in previous videos, royal spirulina is grown in clean environment in special bioreactors because those reactors are completely isolated from the environment, where water is being filtered, air is being filtered. You are guaranteed not to absorb any toxins and any heavy metals from royal spirulina. I shared lab tests for spirulina from a company that imports spirulina from China. And in China, these products are grown commercially and then they are spray dried. Okay, spray drying is using very high heat, so it destroys all the nutrients. Clean, pure spirulina will bond with the metals in your tissue, pull it out so you can get rid of them. There are many trials and studies done on spirulina when it comes to detoxification, and not just of heavy metals. For example, in Japan and Russia, spirulina was used to remove the toxicity and radiation from the nuclear explosion that happened in Chernobyl and Fukushima. So spirulina is very powerful agent, but only when it's clean and pure. I will include some of the studies that are posted on several different research places. I appreciate your time, and I hope this video was educational for you. Thank you, and you have a good day.